Okay, I like for the adverts to be skippable. As I roll a cigarette while we're waiting for the adverts. Oh dear, never mind. That should be the adverts out of the way by now. Suppose we better make it seem like we want to do a stream. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Hello, 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 hello. Willkommen and greetings, and hello, everybody's. And keep that one quiet, Patty. Hello, Andrew and Patty and Mark and Mufti and Adele and Yella and Full Fish Fam Link. Hope all are well, wonderful, fandabidozy, and awesome. Yes, what have I been up to this week? Work, fishy stuffs, kitty stuffs. That's pretty much it. So yes, as I said last week, I've been looking after the neighbours' cats this week. So yeah, the joyous things where you wake up in the morning, you go through there, and the first thing you do is clean up the vomit and the poop, and then you feed them and you let them out. Yeah, but you get all the fusses and the snuggles. Yo, Anthony, how you doing? Long time no see, sir. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, so kitty stuff, worky stuff. Well, work is work, isn't it? Wasn't too miserable. Hello, Trash Cat. How you doing? Oh, have a look. Do I recognise the picture? No, I don't. Not with my bad eyesight, anyway. Right, are we done? I think we're done with the notifications. Oh, day off for Labour Day. Yes, it's May Day tomorrow. So, yes, another bank holiday. Another day working for double time. Hello, Sarah. How you doing, me dearie? I think it's a bank holiday the week after as well for the coronation. But obviously, I don't get day off. Oh, pardon me. We don't even close for the actual coronation itself. So, not that I was interested in actually sitting and watching a coronation. You know, it's like any other big royal event. Lots of pomp and circumstance, carriages and horses and soldiers and police and crowds waving little flags. Then some waffle going on in Westminster Abbey, and then more of the same going back. Already done the 235 squats today. Well done. That's it again. That's 234 more than I've done. Oh, 233. Yes, now we have to get down on one knee and pledge our allegiance to the King. Hail to the King, baby. Yeah, I've heard all sorts of things like that people have said. Do you have to pledge allegiance to the King and things like that? And it's like, no. It does when he's trying to pick it up with his butt cheeks, Adele. He's got some grip, that lad. I told you not to light your farts when you're filling up the car with gas. Oh dear. So yeah, it's just a figurehead. Doesn't really have any power over any of us anymore. It's going to be weird. It's already weird enough when you get the events go on, sing the national anthem, where you've been singing "God Save the Queen" for 40 years, and I was only got no "God Save the King." And I'm wondering how many people have made that mistake, like at football matches or other sporting events, which is where it usually gets sung. They sing "God Save the Queen" instead of "God Save the King," and send him instead of send her victorious. Thank you for the linky yellow. Sharp blade, sharp guy. Sharpie 2. How you doing, Tom? Oh, Anthony's washing the hounds. And Tom's been sharpening his mower blades. That Florida grass is tough stuff. Mind you, if it's anything like the grass you get up on the coast here, then yeah, that probably would dull a mower fairly rapidly. The marram grass up by the coast, and I'm pretty sure that does actually just take salt into it. So yes, and there's the link for Mikey's PayPal and his Buy Me a Coffee link as well. He's still struggling. As I say, always welcome to put those kind of links up. Any of the mods, or if anyone's got a link they want put up, just ask one of the mods. It's not a problem. So we did have some good news, fish-wise. The Nanakaras did the breedy again, and this time we got as far as the wrigglers, which got moved. And I think they might have been either been moved again or they've been eaten again. Because first time we just had eggs, this time we got to a wriggler stage. So if they're not still in there, then yeah, next time hopefully. Thankfully, no more bristlies that I've seen being born or spawned, so that's all good. And I was hoping to go to the LFS today to offload some fisheries, but yeah, they're doing a stock take. And having done many a stock take of stationary objects in my life, I can say it's a pig. However, having to stock take a couple of 100 fish tanks, no thank you. I think I would just settle for taking a picture, counting the fish in the picture, and yeah, near enough. Yeah, that would not be fun. I mean, it's bad enough trying to keep track of how many bristle noses. I've got no idea how many limia I've got, so these are reproducing like crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is how it is. Yeah, there's at least 200 tanks, if not more. And then there's all the outdoor carp and weird carp and all the various other outdoor fish. How often do I feed that crit root tabs? I don't fertilize any of my tanks whatsoever. Yes. Everything that grows in my tanks is purely down to mulch and fish poop. So yeah, that's literally it. A basic light and plenty of poop. And you get, oh, okay, you get a baby Livia in the box, in the breeder box with all the thistle noses as well. Lights on 10 hours a day. Yeah, lights, because that one and those ones are automatic. So yeah, 10 hours a day. What is it? It's one of the night crew silliness, whatever the cheaper night crew one is. Yeah, fish poop, light. Oh, it's not a like special plant light. It's literally just red, blue, and white. So you know, does what it does. How far is Norfolk from you? I'm in Norfolk. If you mean Norwich, that is what? Oh, I'm basically midway between Norwich and Thetford on the A11. And yes, I know Donna wants some plex. Just say how many and what flavour. And if I get advance notice, I can have a clear up and a tidy up, and you can then film a fish room tour. Oh, and thank you very much, Mark, for the Fishy and Phantoms memberships. So it's Adele, Mufti, Sherry, Tommy, Clark, Lady Metalhead, Barbara, Quirky, Glitch, and Boizzle. I know it's B-Wizzle, but Boizzle works better for me. There we go, all 10 gone. And they're actually all gone to fishy peeps that we see fairly regularly, so yay! Yeah, so if you're down this way, just give us a holler, and if you want tea, that could be a problem because I don't have tea bags. I'm red bush tea, but you know that's not for human consumption. That's for fishies. Oh, pardon me. Red Bull. I can probably stretch to a couple of cans of energy drink. That's not a problem. Baby Bull, Mummy Bull, or Daddy Bull. That's what I call the 3 different sizes of Red Bull. Yeah, just give me I don't know, a few weeks warning so I can actually have a bit of a tidy up. But yes, yeah, you got me on FaceTime and Messenger, haven't you? So just chuck us a massage and we'll sort something out. And you can point out just how crappy some of my tanks actually are to your army of subscribers. Oh yeah, well, whilst Andrew's filming, I'll definitely burp in the background. Dee Dee, my dear, how are you, my lovely? 8 months and 26 days of requesting a Sharpe foot cam. I'll do it one of these days, Sam. And pardon me, you won't like it. I've got some pretty gnarly hooves. Just checking in during the Biggest Loser commercial. Well, you found him, Brian. How are you, darling Brian? Hope you're all well. Life is treating you A-OK. It's not a kink shame. I know people who are into feet. Mine would be, how can I put it? Have you seen the Hoof GP? There's a YouTube channel where the guy goes around dealing with rotting cow hooves. That's where my feet deserve to be. I mean, I know I live in Norfolk, but it doesn't mean they are prehensile. The Hoof guy is better than Hoof G. Brian's waiting on my OnlyFans. You don't want to see that, Brian. If you think this is pale and glary, the rest of me gets even less sun. Also, it's just one that every so often I'll get one of them turn up on my feed, and there's just some really minging hoof that just explodes with gunk. But I think I need one of those knives that he uses so I can cut my toenails. It'd probably be safer than me using a Dremel anyway. And that is not a joke. I have used a Dremel to cut my toenails before. You get to a certain age, and like the little nail cutters and the scissors just won't go through them. And cow hooves are better than horses' hooves. Anything's better than anything to do with a horse. That is literally sit in the bath for 45 minutes, get out, or even do it in the bath, so you can just poke the clippings down a plug hole. No. No, most of the time I use an old pair of Tamiya sprue cutters, which, if you know what they are, they're basically wire cutters. So the other option, Mark, will be if you've seen I did a video on it, the DeWalt do a powered secateur now. The plug hole, not the pluck hole. If I plucked my hole, oh god. Little Lisa, how are you, my dearie? I haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're all well and wonderful. Doggo let you clip his nails in 10 years. He suddenly trusts you to do it. Yes, it's a. I say, little latte bunny has to get her bunny cures. Mary could do it, but she's worried about accidentally hurting latte. So it's only a £5 at a time, and it's once every few months, so it's not too bad. It's just when it gets a bit scratchy sometimes. But yeah, so all these little reasons. One splurge has always been pedicures. Well, I mean, that's the thing, Dee Dee, is you can't see your feet. A bit like me, it's not very often I see my feet either. If I'm standing up and look down, I can't see them. G'day, Bruiser, how you diddling? Adele signed up to buy me a coffee. Is there a buy me a monster as well? Ups and downs, lots of downs, but still alive and looking good as usual. Yeah, I don't look good. I gave up on that decades ago. I'm never going to look good, so I just accept that I look like crap. When you bend over, you can see it. Yeah, if you bend over, there's a distinct possibility of toppling over forwards, Dee Dee. And if I try that, my hair just gets in my eyes, so yeah. Plenty of biscuits. So if I know you're coming, let me know what your favourite biscuits is, and I'll get a pack in. I'll even air the place out. I might have the back garden cleared by then. Ew. They're too little to look like a Yeti. Oh dear. Make sure I have pork pies. Oh, there will be pork pies in the fridge. Don't worry. You have to, if you've got someone coming to film your fish room, you have to bribe them so they say that it looks good and that they don't point the camera at things you probably rather didn't point the camera at. Just to check neither of you are scared of ghosts. Filipino people at the nail salon call me White Devil because of my yeah. I know there's some of the ladies kind of low-key hate me at work for my fingernails. No, you got Piccalilli right, I think, unless it's 2C's. Can't remember. Yeah. Pork and pickle pie is always good. But if you're like me or Andrew, we can just inhale a 6-pack of pork pies and they're just gone. Yeah, one for whatever needs a long fingernail for. Not just picking ears and noses. Low-key hate you for your eyelashes. That's not low-key, Anthony. That's not low-key hatred. Tommy! How you doing, Tommy? Hope all is well with you, you handsome bar steward. Oh, we've got all the cool people in here. Oh, Bruce has got one in each hand. He's going skiing. I used to have decent eyelashes when I was younger, but nowadays there's not really anything there anymore. Ooh. Probably to keep rubbing them out due to the hay fever. The oilseed rape is in flower at the moment, so despite it being quite a nice, warm, sunny, dry day, I'm keeping everything closed because it's a bit of a struggle at the moment. Despite being very dosed up on hay fever medicine, we went out to I know we went out to a garden centre today, but that weren't the problem. We went in. There was a big pet store next door, so thought, well, we'll go and have a look in there, see if we can find anything interesting. Because we got a plant from Mary at the garden centre for a garden. Went round the fish shop section, and I didn't really come out with anything. But yeah, I'll say the pet food shop was a bit high, shall we say, and that seems to have triggered off the allergies or the allergy. And then on the way back, we came back a different route and we ended up going through all the fields of oilseed or rapeseed, if you want to call it the correct name. Spring, summer. Yeah, it's still technically spring. Spring has sprung though. I mean, the fish are back to doing breedies. We've got a whole heap of baby shellies, baby nanacaras. Oh, Shady's back. Oh dear, I don't want anyone's full attention. That way they notice when I screw up. So there's one thing I've not taken part in, and I've not really watched much of videos. I understand Grandpa Guppy, as I should call him, released a video on not doing water changes. And then several people have also released videos about doing water changes. Yeah, there's just a few limias in there now. Grab the camera because it will show them together. Just a few baby limia. Oh dear. Get the camera level. Somewhere around there. Yeah. Corys. More limia. Oh, while we got the camera. Somewhere there. Adult shellies, adult shellies, adult shellies. If it ever focuses. Baby shellies. There we go. That's not all the limia. Looks like there'll be a load more over this side as well. I'm the boss. My bristle nose blackout is in denial. Oh, who's that person that's a sticker? I don't know. Oh, we have some dreaded blackbeard algae. We won't worry about that. A certain Missy Pleco will eat that. And yeah, just in case we didn't have enough limia. Ridiculous amounts. Yeah, just plecos. More plecos and snails. Got me fried coming out of your ears. Hope you have some snack skins or bite your bites or spaz snacks as they're called here. As I say, somewhere in there is also the smaller of the male epistogrammas. I was hoping he was going to eat some of the babies, but he appears not to be. I think in honesty, he's scared of the adult limias. Yeah, if I still had spaz, there wouldn't be any limia in that tank. Probably wouldn't be any cories either. It would literally just be him, the Akara, and the adult bristlenoses. He'd eat everything else within a couple of weeks. Or days, probably. Yes, Bert and Ernie. Oh, and here they come. Do you want to have a close-up look at Bert and Ernie? Of course you do. Who don't want to see Bert and Ernie in an awesome, super chilled derpiness? Which one's that? That's Bert. Where are you hiding, Ernie? And there's Ernie down there. I are hiding. The golden gourami, call it rubber ducky. Oh, go. Yeah, there we go. We're back in focus. Yeah, it'll be I just choose whatever name seems to fit. And when there were 3 electric blue Akaras, they were Larry, Curly, and Mo, and then one of them had its name changed to Donkey because it kept donking its head on things, and then Donkey unfortunately donked once too many times and then donked himself out of existence. And so we got 2 left, and I figured, well, Bert and Ernie, because they wouldn't hurt a flea, and they're generally friendly. I say they wouldn't hurt a flea. Anything insect-like that lands in that tank is gone in seconds. Even to a Brit, a big spider. I mean, obviously not an Aussie big spider. that'd be able to just walk across without even getting his feet wet. Yeah, they tear it to pieces. And Anthony showed his rubber ducky isopods on Pam's stream last night. Ooh. And Bun Bun, hello, darling. How are you? I'm putting bugs in the minnow tank. Yes, it's one of the good things about having fish. If you find any bugs or insects or flies in the house, you can just drop them in a fish tank and they go away. So the Shelleys will eat them, the Caras will, the Pistos, the pelvic acrobats, the Nanacara. Have another drink, Sam. And actually, speaking of which, while we were at the garden centre today, they had Nanacara for sale. They'd sold them all. They were something like £25 each, and I was like, ooh, nice. Yeah, it's something I don't understand because they're a really pretty fish. They're not overly aggressive or anything, and for some reason they're not popular. I have no idea why. Might be because they prefer softer water. Hello, Angelique. Nice tank. Well, all is okay here. Frog has his worms. Turtle got its time outside. Some guy with the dog walking. You think you're walking the turtle. Most of us men have done the turtle walk. Don't be ashamed. And that means a completely different thing and might not cross the language barrier. Kind of hope it doesn't, because it's fairly grim. At this point, are you back from your sojourn to Gallipoli and Turkey, Mark, or are you still in Eurasia? Look, we'll see in the comments. Well, the two red comets have made it. Two of them made it through winter. One of them didn't. I have seen Baldric. I've not seen Lucky, who is the rescued goldfish. Now, I'm not surprised if Lucky hasn't made it because, he got attacked by a cat. So, though he was pretty well healed up when I put him in there. But most importantly, Watson made it through the winter. Watson being the larger of what was a trio. Well, it was four originally. So Lucky got scooped out of his pond, grabbed by a cat, carried to the cat's house, kept in a mixing bowl full of water all day, being fed grapes. I don't understand. Then being driven in a car in a sandwich bag full of water. Spent about another 20 minutes, half hour in said sandwich bag. Then got put in a rucksack and cycled home, and then put in a strange bucket. And after a couple of weeks of that, he got put in the pond. Still in Turkey, heading to Ankara tomorrow, back to Istanbul for a few days before part 2 in Egypt. Ooh. And I don't need to say anything because I know you'll go do the cool stuff in Egypt and not just sit by the pool getting drunk, which is what most people I know of who go to Egypt seem to do. Marit's not here at the moment, but she's still around. She's all pops in. She probably, I think she's at a hockey game today, ice hockey. Yeah, she's moving on with her life, shall we say. Now try. How do I put it right? If Buddhists acted the same way as Jehovah's Witnesses, they would become a Buddha pest. Salients! Rainy and stormy here today. Set up QT tanks for some muck guppies and tiger barbs. Cool. Yeah, exactly, Mark. That's what I don't understand. I know several people who've been on holiday to Egypt and haven't even just like visited the pyramids. That's the reason you go to friggin' Egypt. It's not to sit by the pool cooking yourself, alcoholizing yourself, and not doing anything. You could do that in England, especially, that time of year, middle of summer. Probably hotter here than it is there sometimes. Yeah, literally, people who go to Egypt and don't visit. It's just seriously. Yeah, and even if you don't do the classic of the pyramids and the Sphinx, there's so much other interesting historical things and cultural things. Not stay in the hotel getting drunk and eating steak and chips. Why? Do that at home. Somewhere in England, the rain gets warm. Yeah, that is a good joke, and it's been fairly accurate up until the last few years. But I mean, last summer in England, it didn't rain for about 5 months, and we had wildfires, and the small town village of Ashhill basically half burnt down because, yeah. Howdy, Scotty wants to go and see the Stargate in the pyramid. Exactly. Just watch out for gold. You definitely don't want to find Ra in there. And not in a rah rah ooh la la kind of Lady Gaga way. But the Egypt trip, taking a boat up the Nile, stopping at all the sites. So that's the way to do an Egypt holiday. Yeah, the roads were melting. That was one of the cooler things. Or Teal'c, yeah. That Teal'c will be cool. I mean, yeah, I'd rather bump into Major Carter somewhere nice and dark and secluded. Turtle's got his food. Is there a whole fish in it? Yeah, I'm guessing they probably don't check these things too closely. I mean, I'm guessing it goes through some kind of mincer, but yeah, you have the P90. Yeah, you can take the P90. Yeah, I'm taking Sam Carter. Thank you very much. Not that I'm, a pervert or anything. But hey, oh God, what was her name? Amanda. Oh God, now I sound really bad because I can't remember the actress's name. Was in Sanctuary too. What was the star in Sanctuary? Right, I've got to get a new patch of backy. Tell me who the actress was because that's going to bug me before I Google it. Amanda Tapping, that was the one, yes. Thank you very much, Mark. Definitely tap that. Oh, doing weird focusy things. What are you focusing on camera? Nothing. Oh, do the old trick. There we go. Amanda hug and kiss. Yes. So she was in, she was in Stargate Atlantis as one of the main characters after a couple of seasons. And then, I say, Sanctuary, which was a really good show. Yeah, okay, the effects haven't necessarily stood the test of time, but there we go. See you later, Anthony. Give the doggos a good fuss from me. And howdy be good. And if you can't be good, be careful or don't get caught. Tingo is driving me nuts. 1 4-inch back out and 1 platty, I want to add. It shouldn't, as a moving house as soon as this one sells. Ooh. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Because although if you're desperate for the house to sell, then doing things that you probably shouldn't do until the house sells is a good thing to do. Because you know the sod's law states is the house won't sell until you put the fish in the 10-gallon tank. And Mr. Moist is here as well. Hello, Al. How you doing? Hope all is well, sir. Fish fever. Want to add? Want to add? Yes. I'm at that kind of point where I just want to buy new fish because I haven't bought new fish in quite a long time. In fact, I can't remember what the last fish I bought were. Probably the histogrammas, and they were like that big when I got them, and the big male's now fully grown. So, oh dear, bad head, eh? Hello, Rebecca. How are you? The fish fan baby. Yes, and M&C's here as well. All the cool kids are turning up. Look at that. How you doing, bud? Hope all is well. E.T. the extraterrestrial, or the extra testicle. Be good. E.T. phone home. Yeah, God, I hated that movie. First time I had to watch it, it was vaguely passable. Felt way too long. And the second time I got kicked out of the cinema for laughing when he died. You know, that was, oh God. Oh, that was basically when it came out, so. I'm sure there would have probably been an alien on Star Wars or Star Trek that got drunk at some point. I'm not sticking my finger in there, Elliot. Johnny Be Good. We're down in Louisiana, New Orleans. Johnny did a fart and it ripped his jeans. Go, go. I went on the ET ride at Universal. Me and Dad found it funny more than our concern for rescuing ET's friends. Yeah, leave them. Weird looking creatures. And we all know the best alien was Al. If you're looking at comedic aliens, otherwise it's obviously it's the xenomorph. Groovy Ghoulies was a fun cartoon, yes. Also a sign that there's something wrong with your bike seat. Yeah, the clangers do have a charm, but yeah, the xenomorph is, yeah. Well, it's designed by H.R. Giger, wasn't it? So you know it's going to be cool. And yes, Alf is awesome. Yeah, he always wanted to eat cats. I mean, that's the only thing I didn't like, but. Mac and me, oh god. Yeah. I like my aliens psychotic and murderous more than anything. Or furry. Yeah, Mork, yes. Nanu Nanu. Alpha's the one. Doctor Who had good aliens. I'm of the distinct impression that Doctor Who ended with Sylvester McCoy. I'm not sure what this other thing is. Next UFC event, Alpha vs CC. that's a no-brainer. Alf's going to win that. What's EC going to do? The glowy finger of doom? Well, that does sound like a wrestling move, doesn't it? Right up there with the flying butt pliers from Ren and Stimpy. Yeah. Doctor Who is best in black and white. Same with Sherlock Holmes. If it's in colour, it's not Sherlock Holmes. It's an imposter. I think Basil Rathbone filmed every single Sherlock Holmes story there was. I only watched black and white with his dad's army. You should check out the original Sherlock Holmes movies. They're epic. And plus, there's the fact that Basil Rathbone actually looks like Holmes was described as looking in the books. Hello, Jeff. How you doing, sir? Tom Selleck called. He would like his moustache back. Sorry, I couldn't resist that joke the other day. And good news, Jeff. The Nanakaras, there you go, Sam, have another drink of bread again. And this time we got as far as the wriggler stage. So they've disappeared, but I know Missy Cara moved them from where she laid them. Because where I saw them in a teak leaf, because the teak leaves I bought were folded over. And they were in the teak leaf. And I only saw them when they were wrigglers, and I only put the leaf in there on the Tuesday, and I saw them on the Tuesday night. So she's moved them in there, but they're not there today. Might get to 1K today. Ooh, fingers crossed for you. Be good. Yes, I can cross all my fingers without actually manipulating, because I've broken them all. Yeah, I think I watched one thing with Will Ferrell in it, and he annoyed me, so I've not watched any more. 312 to 595 result. I generally class it as a good month if I get 20 subscribers. The algorithm doesn't like me, and I'm not very good at doing the whole YouTube thing of videos at exact times, and I don't do editing, and I waffle, and I don't talk about interesting things either. And not for most people. Yeah, that's the thing though, Bunny, is I know plenty of people who are annoying. Last thing I want is in my entertainment. What choice was it? Yeah, it's possibly, but to a very niche audience. Yeah, I don't think the algorithm likes showing off dead fish, Rebecca. That's the problem. No, No offense and no knock to you, but I've got a funny feeling that the algorithm might not like dead creatures in jars of alcohol, or well, it used to be formaldehyde until I found out that formaldehyde breaks down. Yeah, and again, I find my shorts tend to die on their butt as well. I just, even if it's something quick and simple, I can't just talk about it for like a minute. No, I struggle to keep videos down in length, because I do everything in one shot as well. It gets a bit tricky, but yeah, it's one of those things. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me if I don't get millions of subscribers and make a living off of YouTube. Pays a couple of bills. That's about it. Comments get switched off. On a film fish dissection, that would really kill the channel. I mean, that was it was the when I first got the first trio of Limias. Now they were all pregnant because I had 3 females. Unfortunately, they didn't actually drop fry, but one of them did the old unaliving thing, as they call it. Because apparently you can't say die because that will kill the algorithm. So they say unalived. And as I was like, well, she looks pregnant. She's gone. And if she's got fry in there, can I save them? Is my first thought. And so I grabbed a scalpel and did the basically gave a fish that size. Maybe she was a bit bigger than that, but yeah, basically I gave something the size of a platy, the cesarean. Yeah, I did think about filming it, but I was in a bit of a rush and trying to save any babies if possible. Yeah, if it was an egg-laying fish, I wouldn't bother trying to rescue the eggs because you need to have them fertilized. But because she was a live bearer, and what harm am I going to do? She's already gone. And if I could have potentially saved a fry or two, that would have been a bonus. And that would have made a good video. But unfortunately, they weren't fertile. So she had a belly full of eggs, just no bubbers in there. Oh, Bunny having. Oh, got some better weather for you, Bunny. So feeling better in yourself. Remember, Mark shrimp tanks operated on a shrimp. Yeah, I definitely need to get the old magnifiers out for that because yeah, my close-up eyesight is going at the moment. Yeah, I've not gone as far as do something on a shrimp, but that's the only time I've technically operated on a fish. But it was worth a go in my opinion at the time, and I probably would again. And yeah, these are just normal roll-ups. There's nothing spicy in them, and there's no herbage. And yes, I do kind of chain smoke when I stream. I don't smoke this much normally. John's. I could probably go a pretty cool chunky tash if I wanted to, but it would be grey. And with that as well, I would just end up getting hair caught in the moustache, and it'd be horrible. Yeah, everyone's sending Ivy's mum big hugs, and Ivy too. I'm gonna give Ivy hugs as well. Yeah, because I'm worth it. Yes. Little brand, was it Cian? Is it Cian? Something like that. Yes, anti-dandruff shampoo and conditioner. Yeah, you'll do a man bun and grow a beard. No, no to the man bun. I'm not. I'll have a beard. That's not a problem. I used to have a beard. Then it started getting awkward and annoying and in the way, so I shaved that off when I cut my hair the first time. Um, yeah, I had the tash and the goatee, and the goatee got down to about there in like the two forks. But no, not doing a man bun. No. The most it gets is ponytail with an elastic band. You know, once you get past that quarter of an inch stage, Jeff, beards are fine. Is literally once you get past a quarter of an inch, they don't itch or anything anymore. And that pretty much takes me like 2 weeks. Um, yes, I had a shave this morning, and you could already sand wood with my face. Man bun beard and start vaping. And start walking around holding a big cup of coffee like that so everyone can see the logo on the cup. Oh no, that we need to see pictures of, Andrew. Yeah. No man bun. Exactly. I wouldn't even know how to do a bloody bun. And it's not exactly straight either. It does go rather curly in the back. So, hey, I'm not knocking the moustache. It's an impressive tummy ball. Oh dear. At least you didn't look like a chuckle brother. And tie my hair up with a pen. Yes, but girls, women are used to all these tricks with hair and how to make it do what they want it to and plaiting it and all that stuff. And no, blokes can't do that. Well, this one can't anyway. This one just grows hair. Why does blokes' hair dry quicker than a lady's? It's usually shorter. Um, I mean, if you have short hair, basically you just get out of the bath and go with the towel and it's dry. Tommy uses a lotion on his hair. That's because you have such beautiful hair, Tommy. Yeah, mine takes hours to, or used to. Doesn't quite so much anymore because there's not so much of it. But and it's closer to the head for yeah. And now the shorter length means the water just comes straight off of it. It doesn't get trapped. Lotion is amazing. No need for gel or spray. You're going to be on the Brill cream soon, Tommy. And no, I don't use gel or spray. At the very rest, at the very most, it is literally a case of do that, grab an elastic band that I would normally use to tie up a fish bag, and job done. Yes, but Rebecca, that's because you're a lady and you actually care about the health of your hair. I'm a man. I wash it like twice a week. The only reason I put conditioner in it is to stop it tying itself in knots after half an hour. Like the people who have an hour long skin ritual every day and then complain about the zits. Yes. Just use soap. It'll do the same thing. But then Nadine's like that. She's got all these unguents and potions and lotions and things for her face and masks and God knows what else. She's 19. I'm like, you're not old. You don't need to put anti-aging products and stuff on now. These Lush Ultra Blend and avoid the sun. I just use whatever soap is available, the cheapest. You know, because you're just getting the gunk off. That's all it does. Yeah, it's all the same ingredients, no matter whether it's the super cheap or the super expensive. It's all the super expensive one does is put a bunch of things like extra vitamins and this and that and the other, and the amount of time it's in contact with your hair, it's not going to do anything. Like maybe if you left the conditioner in for like 3 hours, like a couple of minutes, no, it's not going to do anything. The main thing is it just keeps the knots out, which as my hair does go curly, we get the full-on ringlets going on. There's some starting to form already, but yeah, I washed it this morning, so yeah, I'll, probably by the time I get home from work tomorrow, I'll have full-on tight spiral ringlets in the back. Use Aussie shampoo, love the way it smells. It all smells the same to me. And Lisa's been using anti-aging stuff for about a year. Is 34, and since using, I've noticed 5 more grey hairs have appeared, and also my eye bags are heavy. Yeah, I just gave up on it all many years ago. It's like, well, you see the price reduced volume compared to a cheaper big Tresemme tub. How did we get on to hair care? I have no idea, but hey, it's as good a subject as any. Yeah, so when it comes to things like that, I've got the court of prayer. No, I'm not going to. No, part of me is wanting to do something I really shouldn't. Embracing the process. Waste of time. You're either born lucky or you're not. Exactly. It's purely a genetics thing. And I get people tell me I don't look my age. Ironically, I actually had someone in the shop this week, a customer, and chatting away. He goes, I can't believe you remember that. He says, you're not old enough to remember that. I'm like, how old do you think I am? And he said, number. I said, well, how old are you? He said a number that's lower than my age. And I'm like, I'm older than you. That's why I remember the Falklands. Huh? He's one of those unlucky ones that went grey and bald and wrinkly in his 30s. Sun exposure does a lot. Yes. See, staying out of the sun is good for you. Use whatever big bottle I can buy at Costco. It lasts me 4 months. Herbal essences. Yeah, we get that over. That's a L'Oreal, isn't it? But yeah, it's all shampoo. I just put different perfumes in some of them. That's all. Unleash the inner vampire. Well, this is what basically 47 looks like when you don't go out in the sun. So, and I've had a hard life. No one will notice when I have grey hair. It'll make my hair lighter. Yeah, I didn't notice mine until very recently. Um, I knew there was grey hair in there, obviously, but it was like, oh crap, that's a lot greyer than I thought it was. Because my hair being dark, it just looks like it's sort of shiny. But yeah, there's plenty of grey in there, and there is the white stripe down the back as well. Um, which at one point, many moons ago, when my hair was very long, I did have someone plait it so that the white section was a plait part. So it was like black with the white going down the middle. That did look cool. And people still ask me if I dye that small patch white. Like, no, that's from the first time I knocked myself out. Going for the Cruella de Vil look. Well, Cruella de Vil was hot. Uh, hair is having a battle. Will it all turn grey or will it all fall out? Yeah, I think that's what mine's doing as well, Mark. I just wish it was the grey that was falling out and not the, well, dark brown now. It used to be black when I was younger. Um, yes, it's hair. We all age. Us men either go grey or bald or some weird combination of the both. Yeah, just accept it. The first time I sort of started seeing adverts for men's facial lotions and unguents and stuff, I was like, really? These are skin creams now? What's wrong with soap? I've done the hair dyes, Rebecca. Thankfully, in the time before digital photography, there isn't any pictorial proof, but I've had weird coloured hair in the past. Bald does not suit me. Far too many scars on my head for that, and dents. Um, Last time I went to the DMV, the worker said my hair was grey. Told him it wasn't. In denial, I selected brown. Mandy, my darling, how are you? Miss Manda Panda. Haven't seen you in weeks. I'm all well. Always good to see you, my dearie. Sending hugs. And just so you know, my clown plecos are getting out and about now. Turns out they like black water. Give them a black water in a dimly lit tank, and they come out and swim around and do all sorts of cool things. High karate aftershave, yes, along with the Old Spice and the Brute, and the insignia for the sporty types. Only thing I ever used aftershave for, because I only used to get it when I was a kid. I say a kid, teenager. The only thing I used to use the aftershave for was drying up spots and for disinfecting cuts. That's literally all I ever used it for. Yes, Brute by Fabergé. The people who make decorative eggs are now making them really cheap. Yeah. That's in mine at least 3 months. About time to freak out mood before I make sure he's still. Yeah. No, I mean, if I went over there right now, I'd be able to see him. So many perfumes from gifts. I'll say it's the thing. I guess it's one of those things. What do you buy a teenage boy that you don't really know that well, or you're too tight to buy anything decent for? And yeah, it's the smellies. It's the gift pack of Insignia or Brute or Old Spice or High Karate or whatever. Lynx or Axe, the American version. And it's just like, yeah, okay, so I've got it. I'll use it up because I got it. But only cologne or cologne is Hugo Boss, and I've worn it since middle school. That's one of the things I don't understand about all the perfume and aftershave cologne adverts. There's all these like scrawny people trying to look like hot and cool and sexy, and then they tell you at the end of the advert they tell you that it's for some stinchy stuff. But they never actually tell you what it smells like. The new cologne form. Well, yeah, what does it smell of? That's the first thing. If it smells of something I don't like, I'm not going to buy it. So tell me what it smells like, and then I'll know whether to go and buy it or not. If it smells like used engine oil and WD-40, I'm in. If it smells like heather and sport, no. I'd rather just smell a bit sweaty and manly. Um, that was a joke. Used to wear sand and sable every day. I use sable, Kolinsky sable usually, but that's a completely different matter. Oh, look out! Mandy's going to be sniffing around yellow. Yeah, if you didn't know, Kolinsky sable paintbrushes, um, the best bristle for a small paintbrush. Until you get really small, and then it's not the best. It's still deleting comments with emojis. Random. Shouldn't do. I haven't got anything switched on for that I'm aware of, unless there's been some kind of update and it's automatically switched on a bunch of crud that I normally have turned off. Um, Someone try emojis and swearing in chat. So I should have all that turned off. It's been deleting comments ended with emojis. I've not noticed it, but then perhaps try putting a full stop at the end or period. Yeah, there you go. Thing is, it's moderators doing it, so they can get away with it anyway. It's okay. Someone who's like not a mod in Chrome, yeah, I'm on Chrome as well. Exactly. And Rebecca tries swearing, goes with ass. Bless you. I'm wondering if it's the grammar Nazi bot because you're not putting a full stop at the end of the sentence. There you go. Thank you, Trash Cat. Yeah, our Nightbot Streamlabs. Yeah, they will. It's cute, isn't it? Spot the person that's never worked in a warehouse or spent time around lorry drivers or forklift drivers or middle-aged men. Rebecca, you need a night out in Portsmouth when the sailors are home. That will teach you how to swear. Uh, um, yeah, it's because it's an American thing. Yeah, I've had it before where ass gets blocked but arse doesn't. Well, I mean, ass is also like, kind of a donkey. Arse doesn't have any other implication other than an arse. something with a hole in it that stinks. And in my case, pale and hairy. Oh, Mark's off to the dunny. Recognise the sail as a mile off. Yes. Yeah, I didn't. I'm not necessarily naval sailors, but yeah. I spent more than a couple of hours on Swansea docks at times, and yeah. The only thing scarier in Swansea than the man on the Swansea docks is a woman on the Swansea docks. Interwebs is doing a nope. Good to see you too, Lisa. Have a wonderful time. Hope your house sells soon and you get yourself all sorted out. Mwah. No, neighbours still aren't back from their holes yet. I might have to go and feed the cats again. Oh well. That was fun this morning. Feed the cats, change the litter box, hoover up, clean everything down. You know, last thing you do when you get back from holiday, the last thing you want is to come back and your house, even though someone's been looking after the cats, they've not been tidying up after them. So yeah, ran the hoover around and changed the litter tray over and cleaned all the bowls out. Funny is, I got a colouring book of swear words and had to Google all the British ones to figure out what they all meant. And I bet there were thousands of them missing out of there, because we can make anything into a swear word. I mean, just off the top of my head, a shell dweller, a lovely little fishy. If you call someone an you utter shell dweller or you absolute shelly, it becomes an insult and therefore offensive. Oh, quick, everyone, quick, clean your tanks. Craig is here. How you doing, Craig? Other than the extra amount of tanks that Craig has got, we keep sort of similar kinds of fish, and we're either end of the spectrum on the cleanliness scale. And Sherry's here as well. Hello, Sherry. Bellend. Oh, Bellend is an excellent one. Yeah. And I did actually Google it the other day. The anatomy of a bell, not a male bell. I know the anatomy of one of them. Yeah, a ding dong bell, and the end of a bell is called a cannon. So there we go. Good, we should be asleep at 4 a.m. I know that feeling. I know that feeling very well. It's starting to get light here very early now. Compared to how it has been, it's sort of getting light by about 5:15 in the morning. Which is yes, twat is a very frequently used British swear, and it's one I really got myself in trouble with the first time I used it, because I figured it was just like twit, and if you call someone a twit, you don't get in trouble. But if you accidentally switch the I for an A when you're talking to your foster parents, you get in trouble. Lots of. Thought it meant something related to a trout. Trout, Salmo trotter. I can see that. Pretty versed in British. Thank you, Jeremy Clarkson. Twit is okay. I mean, twit is a kind of inoffensive insult. Ricky's here as well. How you doing, bud? I mean, come on. There is the Roald Dahl book, The Twits, and that is one thing we have our future, whatever her title will be, Camilla. Um, because there was the whole thing where the publishers were going to woke flake Roald Dahl's works, but apparently Camilla Parker Bowles put up rather a stink, and so there are now two versions being published: the one that has been woke flaked and the one that is correct. Twit is like calling someone an idiot. Yeah, it's kind of a milder version of dumbass. Twat is, yeah, it's kind of a milder version of the C word. Oh, what C word can be very offensive if used in the wrong context. Canute. King Canute. Yeah, terrible word. You're a bloody Aussie, Craig. You use it like a greeting. It's like interchangeable with like mate and buddy and dude and I can't remember your name. What am I going to call you in Oz? Yeah, I actually called one of the guys at work a C unit the other week, and he got rather upset at me. I was like, really? You played rugby? I'm just not used to people calling me that. Oh, well, don't say something like you did. No, as I was talking about Mary, and he said, oh, who's Mary? I said, oh, she's my girlfriend. He said, you've got a girlfriend? Oh, yeah. I think it was, oh, you FEC, I'm not that ugly. No, I didn't mean it. I just, oh, yeah. I'm sure you occasionally turn a very mild shade of sea blue, Jerry. I dislike that person. That's such a carrot. Well, I mean, given how Carrot Top the comedian ended up, that's pretty offensive. And Clark, he's here as well. Hello, Clark. Um, yeah, that was Mr. Mark, the Baron of Barras and the Yeeter of Yabbies. That would be really confusing, Mandy, given that you're a redhead. If you start calling people Carrot. it'd, be, it'd be the equivalent of me calling someone Four Eyes. Or you specky twat. Um, yeah, it's I actually got in trouble at work once for calling someone Four Eyes because they took offence to it. It was a younger person. I called the office and I'm like, what? What have I done now? So and so has said how you said something offensive. I'm like, what? I don't recall saying anything offensive. You called them Four Eyes. I'm like, how is that an insult? Well, because so they're wearing glass. Oh yeah, you wear glasses as well. Yeah. It's like one redhead calling another redhead ginger. It's just a state of the bloody obvious. Yeah, Four Eyes is so old. Yes, that's because I'm old, Rebecca. I'm old. I know I may not act it, but I am old. Oh, I like that one. Knob Goblin is a good one as well. Firecrotch, yes. Nan's nickname was Redhead as her hair was the same colour as the redhead matches, which I think probably with Swan Vestas is what we call them. Not to be mixed with the Vesta curry. They're very different things. One's a lot hotter than the other. No, they just grown a bit, Sherry. I need another. Well, the Val needs another trim. I wish my hair grew that fast. No, quips are just doing quippy things. So with the Anubius, I do have some Anubius flowering in another tank though. I was a writer, that'd be the name of my autobiography. And I would buy that autobiography just for the name. Even if I didn't read it, just have it sat on the bookshelf. Firecrotch. Only got the ginger in the beard. Yeah, there was a bit in mine before it started going grey. Thankfully, it was the ginger bits that went grey first. But again, that started out black and just gradually got lighter as the years went on. And it might have been ketchup, not ginger. It's one of the problems when you get a very long beard is you end up with half your food in it as well. Eating peanuts with a big beard is not a good idea because you will find peanuts later. Most people will stick a pen behind their ear. Just is what you do, isn't it? You got your pen, you just stick it behind your ear. Well, that won't work with mine because of the speckies. So I used to just jam it through my beard, and then I'd forget it was there, and I'd leave work and I'd walk home and then go do some shopping or something like that, and there's me walking around with a pen stuck through my beard. I generally don't notice until you go sort of like scratch your chin or something. Oh, what the hell? Balls. That'll be why I was getting weird looks off people. Oh, well, thank you very much, Sherry. I don't really do much. I just do water changes and feed the fish and clean out the filters once a week. The rest of it just happens naturally. Oh, Laura Roughton has Roughton, sorry, just uploaded a video on her second channel. She does paranormal videos. Her first channel is The Paranormal Scholar, and the second one is Laura Roughton, Rowton. Yeah, I mean, given the nicknames I've had in the past, the black water tank is doing wonderfully, thank you, Sherry. Currently, we have baby get the drink ready, Nanakaras. Well, I say babies, we've got wrigglers in there, but yeah, that tank's doing really rather well at the moment. Everything's happy and healthy, and the pH is staying stable now around about 6.5 to 6.8. At one point, it did drop down below 6, so that was a bit scary. See you later, Andrew. Have a good one. Give Donna a hug for me. Reckon watch the Paranormal Scholar. Not much as I like to actually be able to sleep. This is the thing is, I don't get scared watching these things. So yeah, admittedly, it's the good news, Mark. It's the end of the month, so we got the Patreon edition dry dock. I think it's about 5 hours long this month. Yeah, so if I'm not watching, I say watching or listening to that when I go to sleep, I'll have a paranormal documentary kind of thing running while I go to sleep, or a horror audio, ghost story or something like that playing. Well done, Sam. Look at that. He's got all the links. Got more links than I always anchor Jane. And don't go far. I'm sure you could probably Google just how many there are in there. Current house is creepy enough. Only which finds I have the snake, the fish, and the plants. Currently also one pig group. The guinea pigs, not piggy pigs. Little squeakers, not big oinkers. Oh, the aquarium's happening. Finally changing things up since the waterproof tank is not happening now. Giving it aquatic mammals to substitute them. You need some otters. That's what you need. So then you can scientifically find out how wet an otter's pocket is. Need an attraction to get guests. Cute redhead normally works. Yes, capybaras. Can't go wrong with capybaras. They're awesome. Yeah, but you're going to have to check to see how wet that an otter's pocket does get. Capybara are the ultimate aquatic pet mammal. Yeah, yeah. I'll go with the ultimate mammal to keep that lives in partially in water. Because capybaras are cute. They get quite sizable, so you can give them a good hug and a good scratch. I know they're not wet pets, but tapirs are cool as well. Capybara, capybara, capybara. That's dig a tunnel, isn't it? Bought some danios from the local box store. I'm guessing you mean pets at home. One only has one eye. Unfortunately, it does happen. You get things shipped in bulk, and I think someone really should do a video on how fish are transported around the world. Because you hear a lot about, oh, my fish will be in the bag for half an hour or an hour, and you're like, I've been in a bag for bloody days. Yeah, tapirs need huge enclosures and not happening. Yeah, but tapirs are awesome though. They're basically just like miniature furry elephants. That's the best way to describe them. They're super cute. And there is very little in the world cuter than a baby tapir. And they're friendly as well. Exactly, Rebecca. I mean, I've not looked into it in great detail, but they come from one place where they're farmed to another place, to another place, to another place, to another place. Several different changes of water and bags, and by the time they end up in a pet shop, they're probably on their last legs, most of them, to be honest. Which is why, especially, as you say, especially at the big box stores, you do find quite a few dead fish sometimes. That's not necessarily the store doing something wrong, that's just the way the fish come in. Marmots are cute and squishy looking. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, also we've all seen, I assume, the aquarium co-op delivery unboxing videos, and we used to do those, and it'd be like, oh yeah, here's a bag of 500 neon tetras, put that over there. Here's a bag of 100 corridoras. They probably definitely been in that bag for more than a couple of hours, a couple of days probably at that point. So yeah, it's one of the big things. I mean, I know we'll gloss over the whole how betters are cared for in certain shops. Um, the cup, which I think is actually, I think that'd be illegal over here. It probably does class as animal cruelty. Um, I'm pretty sure it does. Never seen a fish one. I've probably got one with one. I've had them. I know I have. Mr. Mark tells you about his stickers. Oh, um, we're all newbies, Sherry. Uh, we've all got a lot to learn, and it's a hobby where you'll never learn everything. Um, I mean, there's new fish species being discovered every week, it seems lately. Um, I'll say it's like the big box stores where you got maybe if it's a big just fish shop, yeah, animal cruelty to fish is a thing over here, Ricky. So yeah, they're recognised as an animal, and they get the same protections as rabbits, dogs, cats, all that kind of stuff. Not quite as much, but for example, if I wanted to sell my fish outside of my local district council, I would need a pet shop license to go to a shop and sell them fish. And to get that license, it costs quite a lot of money. And you have to do all sorts of things like test all the water parameters of your tanks. Is it twice a week minimum? And certain levels of cleanliness and upkeep and blah, 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 and paperwork and all this stuff. Uh, learned enough to know I need a lot more knowledge. We all do. Jeff's got it right. We could get a new to me species every day for the rest of your life and wouldn't get halfway through. Probably do that with plecos and cories and nothing else. Yeah, all animals are recognised under the Welfare Act of 2006 and require you to cater for them the same. Correct diet, enrichment, and freedom from suffering, and I guess, there's a couple of other things as well. But yeah, it's all vertebrates. Yes. I mean, no, there are even things for like spiders, and I think even like things like crickets and mealworms have to be kept a certain way. We don't sell coffee, I'm afraid, Pam. We just give out free love. How are you, my dear? Hope all is well. But you don't need permits for exotics. Yeah, we need a pet shop license to sell pretty much any animal. There are certain local bylaws which kind of come above that, which is why I can sell to my LFS because they're in the same district council as me, and our district council rules are slightly different to other district council rules. But I can't sell to certain other shops local to me because they are in a different council technically. Asking an Englishman about coffee. Yes, you put one spoonful of coffee powder or granules in, a couple of spoonfuls or three of sugar, fill the cup half to three quarters full of boiling water, and top it off with milk. Give it a stir, and there's your coffee. Yeah, it's more you can sell excess, but not breed to sell. Yes, yeah, I do breed to sell. I mean, you can take fish into other shops for store credit. That you can do. So, for example, no, most people's first tank, they've got the bristle nose pleco, they've got either some cories or some coolie loaches, and then a random live bear of guppies or platies or something like that. And as we all know what live bearers do, Yeah, like end up with too many, and then they take them to the shop, and they might get a bit of very little credit, to be fair, because they're just guppies or platties or something. So maybe like 10p worth of fish. So you can still get rid of excess if they breed and you didn't really want them to breed. But that's a bit hard to say is an accident. Well, I do have a breeding rack. Nighty night, Mark. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your hollybobs. Look forward to seeing your trip down the Nile. Hopefully nobody gets murdered and Hercule Poirot doesn't get called in. If you see David Suchet on the boat, run. I reckon you got hoglets, baby hogs. Very cute. I say dog breeding and dog selling, there's all sorts of licenses and paperworks and stuff like that, which is why so many get dumped. There was one recently where someone literally found an entire litter of pet rabbits. The mum had given birth and they couldn't keep them, but they couldn't legally get rid of, so they just dumped them. Thankfully, they were found and alive and are now getting all the loves. And yes, thanks again for the memberships, Mark. Yes, breeding is where it's at. So that's why I've gone for the limit. I know the limit aren't an endangered species, but they're on the way. So yeah, I would like to get more rarer or endangered type fish and breed them and do my bit for conservation. Ooh, fire in the hole. Pardon me. All tiger lemurs, they're cool as well. Yeah, and the thing I've noticed and found is with if you go for the rarer type live berries, yes, I know they're more expensive and they're rarer. They tend to be a lot hardier as well, and some goodaids or goodaids. Catching tiger lemur is not fun. Yeah, you just need a bigger net. One big dark coloured net and one smaller light coloured net, so they swim away from the light coloured one into the dark one. That's generally my trick. But if you think catching any kind of free swimming fish is a pig, try shell dwellers. Literally, the easiest way to catch shell dwellers is to take the shell out with the fish in it, break the shell apart, and then dump the fish in the bag. Yeah, yes, tiger lemurs are the goodaids. Some of the lemurs, yeah, they're all endangered. Don't get me wrong, platies are lovely fishies, but no, they are common. Night, Crago, or morning, whichever you want to put it. I say, yeah, they're lovely fish. It's just, especially guppies, I think, are now so inbred that they're very weak. Genetically prone to deformities and weirdnesses and all sorts. And just dying at the drop of a hat. They're turning into discus. Whereas, as I say, if you get like the lemurs or the goodaids or those kind of things, they tend to be how they are in the wild. They're not messed with. And they just seem to be generally hardier and look after themselves and don't eat their fry. unfortunately. But then when you see a fairly good sized cichlid swimming around in the middle of a shoal of limia fry and not eating them, you're thinking, is that Limia's fault, or is that I've just got some dumb cichlids? I think it's the latter. I think Bert and Ernie are just so chill it doesn't even occur to them that they could eat the fish. I mean, when the dual cichlids that were literally a quarter of their size were in there and bullying them, Bert and Ernie were like looking at me like, "Help, Dad, help! These nasty fish are hurting us." It didn't even occur to them to bite back. They'd won. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I would say like the Limia, they might not be that colourful, but when they catch the light right, oh boy, do they shimmer and shine. We've got one boy over there with his yellow tail and his black dorsal, looking absolutely gorgeous. We've got another one just there that's developing some lovely black stripes down his side, or vertical bars. As I say, all these come from one trio I bought. So I bought a trio of females, which I thought were pregnant and turned out just fat or full of eggs, and then one died. And then eventually I found someone else that had some for sale, and I bought a male who was called Little Boise. Now, unfortunately, Little Boise got cribbed. The pelvic acromists were doing the breedy, and the chasey away, and he managed to jump out the back of the tank, out of a small hole in the lid, and I found him a bit crispy. But thankfully, he'd done his thing. He'd waved his gonopodium in the right directions, and both the females are pregnant. So when I popped them in there, they then dropped 30 or 40 fry each, and now that's what's in there. Because we've got the babies and the babies' babies and the babies' babies' babies. So yeah, we've got multiple generations. And yes, finding the beauty in all fish is a beautiful thing. It is. I mean, some of them are bloody ugly, but each to their own. I wouldn't necessarily want. I see some like. I don't like discus. I don't find them particularly attractive or interesting. I look at them and go, yeah, oh, cool. What's that weird looking pleco? That's more appealing to me than a discus. Oh, that was one thing they did have. LFS, I say LFS, not exactly local. The fish shop we went to today at the garden centre, they had some wild caught bristlenose plecos, extra large wild caught bristlenose plecos. We're talking bristlenoses that were that big. And I was very, 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 very tempted. But, no, don't. Last thing you need is more bristlenoses. Lucky, what, 2 hours less now? Woohoo! Yeah, I think I'm about right. I do 24 hours a week now, so that's how much are mollies nowadays? Last time I was around £2. Depends on the flavour of molly. Usually between £3 and £4 in my local. Sorry, £3 or £4. Other places they can be more expensive. And again, you can do the breedy very easily with them. Then you go to try and get rid of them, and as I said, you'll be lucky to get 10 or 20 pence per fish. So it's just not really worth breeding, unless you're breeding thousands of them and you're supplying wholesaler. I probably won't ever have discus. especially if I do what I seem to do when I get fish breeding. I produce way more than I need or want, and then yeah, I'd probably just kill the discus price. I'd be selling them at like a £5 each. You go, what? They're only discus, nothing special. And it'd be all these fancy different named colour types and patterns. This is a such and such, that's a mutt discus. Just to upset people. Ooh, $4 a black molly. That's good going. So what are they selling them for? $12? Number is the same, but except pounds, dollars, and euros, it's rupees. So yeah, so basically take a zero off. And she's got 5 goldfish, 3 troppies, and 3 fancy tails, a frog, a turtle, and 3 birds, and a little zoo. Yes, and a doggo. Don't forget doggo. Yeah, more fry the merrier. Exactly. That's why you know you got a happy tank. It's people go on about numbers and parameters and oh, this is what you need to do. This is exactly what you should be doing, and this is how you should keep your fish. And then you don't do that, and your shops are happy, and your fish are happy, and they breed, and you get lots and lots of babies. And you go, well, my fish are happy, and I'm not doing that. Back to that. You don't need to do water changes if you do it my way. I don't do it your way, so I do need to do water changes. I don't do heavily planted, lightly stocked tanks. I do heavily planted, heavily stocked tanks or unplanted, heavily stocked tanks. Don't listen, have the best luck. Yes. If you watch what your fish are doing, how they're reacting, and you keep on top of your maintenance and you understand what's going on, and you don't panic, then it's really not that hard. Yeah, heavily planted and heavily stocked. Yeah, they're the best tanks. Ooh. Oh, what's grasshopper been saying? Redfish, bluefish. And a chicky chick as well. Well, chickens are good because you get an egg most days when you get an adult chicken, female. A hen. If you've got space for half a dozen chickens, then you don't need to buy eggs ever again. You'll probably end up with one of those rickety wooden shelfy type things at the end of the driveway or by your door. Eggs, how much a dozen? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, who wants heavily stocked non-planted? Like them, you mean? The ones highly prone to bacterial blooms. Yeah, most little chickens have too many eggs. I mean, I do have to be careful when I eat eggs. That things like I've not got to go to work the next day. But yeah, I'll say most people. Yeah, and you can tell how many people have got chickens because they'll all have that same or similar, like an old bookshelf type thing at the end of their driveway or end of their garden. Eggs, X amount a dozen with the honesty tub. They do seem to be fairly well respected. I don't see too many people whinging and complaining that the money's been pinched or the eggs have been pinched. Yeah, so back when I lived on the chicken farm, yeah, we never paid for eggs. Because they were for laying. Price of eggs in America is way up. Same here. That's because bird flu's hit again. That's what's done it. Bird flu. All the flocks, a load of flocks have had to be euthanized. Don't eat anything that I keep like fish, so never keeping chicken and goats. Definitely not. You don't want to be going without your goat vindaloo. Oh, yeah, I know that's probably actually an English dish rather than an Indian dish, but oh yeah, you can never keep pigs unless you call them names like sausage and bacon. Goats are awesome. I mean, yeah, they'll headbutt you if they feel like it. You just headbutt them back, and they understand it. Literally, headbutt a goat. Yes, it's the language they understand. I eat salmon. I'll say no one keeps salmon, do they? So even the farmed salmon, they're not really salmon. Yeah. The fact that they have to add dye to the food to make the flesh of the fish go the right colour so that people realise it's salmon and not just some random grey fish. Yeah, it tells you something's wrong with what they're feeding them. You know what the goats do on the way out, Ricky, though? Actually, that's not the goat, that's the spices that go with the goat. And your system, like mine, is used to it, so we don't get that effect. Yes, people who aren't used to eating spicy foods do tend to struggle a bit. It's just as hot on the way out as it is on the way in. Yeah, I don't get that. I get that if I eat vegetables. I can't eat snails, shellfish, or mollusks. I got the allergy. Can't 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 beat going to the seaside and getting a pint of cockles. Yeah, what people feed aquaculture salmon is similar, same or similar things we feed aquarium fish. Yes, and it's not what salmon eat. It's what they eat that makes them go that lovely pink colour. Oh, Tommy's back. He's going to get his liquid bread, which we know means beer. Yes. The historical uses of beer, well, mead, beer, same difference. Um, used in the building of the pyramids because the water wasn't safe to eat or drink. So if you ferment it, the alcohol kills all the bugs in the water. Ate something that had 300 grams of green chili and 100 grams of chili powder. That might have an effect. Devote ourselves having a very frugal May. See how little we can spend in a month. That's a good idea. So you got your case of beer in April. Good point. I went somewhere selling bread made from gone off beer. Yeah, yep. It's full of yeast. That's literally what it is. They're using the yeast to raise and proof the bread. I mean, technically, if you got a bit of a burning sensation down there as a lady, you could probably use that to make bread as well, or beer. Well, I'm not saying you'd want to eat or drink it, but times get tough. I'm off to Red Lobster. Yeah, if I were you, I wouldn't go there because everything's going to be contaminated. What being as well, never knew that could happen. Yeah, that's when you had a little bit too much of the hot. And speaking of peeing, I do have to go, and it's my time is up. So thank you to everyone for showing up. Thank you again to Mark for the memberships. Tommy's having a beer and about to try and count his plants. At least they don't move, so that'll be nice and easy. But yeah, thanks everyone. Stay safe. Have a good week. We'll try and keep things a bit quiet about next week's stream. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah.